All right, pirates, welcome back. Hopefully, everybody is happy and healthy. Today's notes are going to be on RNA, and that's going to lead into tomorrow's discussion on transcription and translation or protein synthesis. So, what RNA is, we're going to look at it as comparing to DNA, okay, because they're both nucleotides. So, RNA, it is a nucleic acid like DNA. Okay, so because it's a nucleic acid, it has some similarities and differences with DNA. So if you guys remember that DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Well, RNA is pretty much the same thing. RNA. The N and the A still stand for nucleic acid, but this time it's not deoxyribo, it's just ribonucleic acid. There's the N and there's the A. So RNA is ribonucleic acid. So just like DNA, it is made of nucleotides. Okay. And just like DNA, those nucleotides have three parts. You have your phosphate group, you have your five-membered sugar, and then you have your base. So you have your phosphate, your sugar, and your base. Okay, so those are the main similarities between DNA and RNA. Just like DNA as well, RNA is also a code, and we'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about transcription and translation. Now, there are some differences between DNA versus RNA. So I'm going to make a two-column table here. Make a two-column table, and I'm going to have DNA on this side, and I'm going to have RNA on this side. Okay, so here are the main differences between DNA and RNA. The sugar in DNA. The sugar in DNA is deoxyribose. Okay, while the sugar in RNA is just plain ribose. Okay, so the sugar in DNA is deoxyribose, and the sugar in RNA is just ribose. The phosphates are the same. The bases are mostly the same as well. In DNA, you have adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. In RNA, however, you have adenine, uracil, guanine, and cytosine. So if you notice right here, there's a difference. That U is for uracil. Okay, so that's the main difference there. There is no thymine in a molecule of RNA. So the first thing is the sugar is the deoxyribose versus ribose. The second thing is the bases. The four possible bases in DNA are A, T, C, and G. The four possible bases in RNA are A, U, G, and C. Okay, the third difference is, and this is a big difference, is that DNA is, so we'll go with shape here. The shape of DNA, if you remember, you got that twisted ladder. You have two strands, okay, of DNA, whereas RNA is just one strand. So you don't have those hydrogen bonds or anything, you just have one long molecule of code. So going back through, just to go through a review, RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. It's made of nucleotides because it is a nucleic acid. It's a polymer of nucleotides. It still has the phosphate, the sugar, and the base, but the difference is that in DNA, the sugar is deoxyribose. In RNA, the sugar is ribose. In the bases, you have A, T, C, and G in DNA. In RNA, you have A, U, G, and C. U stands for uracil. The shape of DNA is a big one too. DNA, you have two strands. RNA, you only have one strand. The DNA is also the whole code. We're not really going to talk about that, whereas the RNA is just a small snippet of code. And then the last possible differences between these two is the location. and the location of the DNA is in the nucleus only. So it's stuck there. Okay. The RNA is found in and out of the nucleus. So the RNA can kind of go anywhere, and that's why we need to make RNA, because DNA is stuck in that nucleus. It is the main code to make proteins. That RNA is going to act as a messenger, and we'll talk about that in a second. That RNA is going to act as a messenger to leave the code out of the nucleus, to get the code out of the nucleus. All right, there are 3 types of RNA, and we're going to talk about them in the next series of notes. The 3 types are mRNA, tRNA, and rRNA. Okay, the main 2 that we're going to be talking about, we're going to spend most of our time talking about mRNA, and that M stands for messenger. Okay, the job of the messenger RNA is to get the code out of the nucleus. Okay, the tRNA is the transfer RNA. Okay, I like to think of it as the trucker or the transport RNA. The job of the transport RNA is to transport amino acids. Okay, and then the last type of RNA is called rRNA. The R stands for ribosomal RNA, and this is just to make protein directly, and we'll talk about that when we talk about translation. Okay, so that's the main notes for today. There's not too much to it, a little bit more than 7 minutes. You have 2 similarities between DNA and RNA. You have the 3 differences between DNA and RNA, and then you have the 3 types of RNA. All right, so that's it for the notes. Hopefully everybody is safe and healthy, and I'll see you soon in our next set of notes. Bye, Pirates.